Hey everybody, it's Gail, and today I have this beautiful 1930s kimono style bed jacket to show you. I found this on a blog ages ago, and I have other patterns from that blog, so I'm hoping if I go through them, one of them will have the blog's name on it, because I don't remember it, and open work kimono bed jacket does not actually provide the level of granulation on Google that you would expect. So I will figure it out. But I do want to show you what I've made so far because I still need to seam it. So I have a little time to do some digging, see if I can find the blog name. But let's look at the project so far. Here's the project so far. It is made of mode at Rowan in Alpaca Haze, which is alpaca, wool, and polyamide. So, very fuzzy yarn, absolutely gorgeous fuzzy yarn. I bought this originally for a different project and then realized the stitch type in that project was not going to work for me with working with a fuzzy yarn, and so I pulled this out and I used about 5 1/4 skeins, not counting the seaming I need to do, which will still be within that quarter skein. And it's gorgeous. It's soft. It's nice to work with. It is, some places call it a lace weight because the individual strand looks very thin. But the fuzziness makes it a sport weight. I used a 3.25 hook, 3.25 millimeter hook, which is very much in the sport weight arena. And you can see coming in like what that looks like when it's all stacked up on these sections that you work on top of each other. Like, this is a sport weight yarn. I am willing to go fight on that one. So speaking of having a little trouble seeing things with it because it is a beautiful fuzzy yarn, you will notice that this sleeve here is a bit weirdly shaped, and this sleeve here is lying nice and flat, and that's because I lost count of the number of chains that was supposed to be and made it longer than it was supposed to be, and then I had to add those extras onto that sleeve so they're the same length. So that's what happened there. Also, this sweater is supposed to be 13 open spaces across, and it's 16 because I also lost count. And this is why the fuzzy yarn got to be used on the more open work pattern. Speaking of the open work pattern, you do work this as a series of rectangles that you fasten off, you reattach. You work the back, then the sleeves, and then the neck and the two fronts, which is not to be confused with the collar, which is worked after, and then you do a series of single crochet edgings on most of the sides. This bottom one is just how it starts, but the rest of them you do after. So the big thing about this pattern to know is that it is meant to be made in a lace weight yarn, and it is originally written for a 34-inch bust. The pattern itself says, go ahead and use a larger yarn to get a larger fit. That's what I did with the sport weight. But I've also gone ahead and done the math to figure out how to make things larger. So what you need to do is you need to add 8 stitches, no matter what your gauge is. So you need 8 extra stitches to complete the entire pattern repeat. And so that's 8 extra stitches in the chain plus whatever chains you need to start. So you start out doing single crochet, so it's 8 plus 1. And that should get you the right number of stitches to be able to work the pattern easily. Now you will have to do a little bit of math in the neck. And if you want to add to the arms, you'll have to take that into account. I am actually going to take the pattern and do a little prettying up of it. I'm going to have a schematic that shows you the layout of how it builds and also some of those instructions I just talked to you about. They will be over on the blog. They will also be linked down in the basement. But for now, I'm going to go try to find the original place for the pattern. The reason I'm going to take the pattern and update it from what I have is because, one, I can do that. Two, I don't honestly know if the blog that I got it from is still around. And so it could be as I go digging around, it turns out that blog has gone down. And if it has, well, more the better. I would share the pattern however I could anyway. If it hasn't, that's going to be awesome because that blog has a lot of old patterns shared, like just a ton, knitting and crochet, so I can recommend it to you. But let me go make sure it still exists. So I'm going to go make sure it still exists. I'm going to get this bitch seamed. I'm going to get some ends woven in, and I will be back. And we are seamed. Ooh, fancy. I want you to watch how this moves when I spin it, because the drape on this yarn is just fantastic. Light as a feather, but still cozy because it's that alpaca and wool and polyamide, whatever that is. So yeah, to seam it, you go up the side and then you go under the arm, where you start at the arm and you work your way down. Either one will work. I just did a single crochet seam because I wanted to be able to see my stitches amongst the fuzziness and know which side was which in terms of wrong side versus right side. This collar, I have not steamed this at all, and this collar is just gorgeous. Just lying flat, looking great. And once you do the collar, then you work these single crochet rows from the bottom edge up and around and down to get the front finished. And you do 3 single crochet in the corners every row, and it really brings it together. Let me show it to you on. Let me tuck my sleeves so they don't escape. Here we go. All right. So again, this is originally a lace weight yarn. This that I'm using is sport weight because the pattern says, go up a yarn size for a larger size, and that's what I did. But I also, as I mentioned in the previous part of the video, made it bigger by accident. So I will have all those notes and everything on the website. That will be linked down in the basement so that, if you want to make this, you can make your own adjustments as well. By the way, I did find the original website for the pattern, and it is Miss Julia's Craft Connection, which is a blogspot blog that is not updated since 2018, so I don't know how much longer it's going to be around. It will also be linked in the basement. I will be linking the pattern index along with the direct link to this pattern because she shared a number of vintage patterns, and so you might like to go through them. They are not separated into knit and crochet, although she has both, but they are separated by category. So at least, if you don't like making baby stuff, you can skip that whole section. You can go to the next one. I actually have several patterns from her. And like I said, I'll be taking the pattern and making a schematic and putting in a few notes and that kind of thing. Actually, you've probably already seen this schematic in the first part of the video. I haven't made it yet. That's a later problem. But anyway, yeah, this is how it fits. It was originally for a 34-inch bust. I'm a 37. And as you can see, I can do one of these, which is kind of what I'm always going for with a bed jacket. Can I wrap it around? And Lord knows I have an enamel pin or a brooch somewhere that I can just pop right there. It'll hold. It's very cute. It's so cozy. Oh my God, this yarn is amazing, you guys. I just slipped it on. I was like, oh, I want to go on the couch and get a blanket, and really cozy it up in this. And it's lightweight, which is very nice. Because I like a good heavy sweatshirt, but sometimes what you want is just that little extra layer, and that's what this is. And it looks very nice. And it's a very classic piece in the sense that you can just toss it on. I can put this on with jeans, I can use it to dress something up, or it can just be something I wear around the house. And it's not obviously old-fashioned, you know what I mean? So yeah, I really like it, obviously. Very easy repeat, like I mentioned. I didn't find any issues in the pattern itself. And hopefully when I do my bit of cleanup, I won't cause any issues in the pattern itself, but I will be very careful and cross my fingers and all of that. So there you go. Great little bed jacket, or just a jacket, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so as always, if you enjoy what I do here, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. And I will see you when I see you.